Hey everyone, we're back in a video. Yes, we are. Today we're talking about the Habs and the Leafs in Game 6, and this is the game review of May 29th, 2021, and the score was 3-2 Habs in overtime, and the Habs win and force a Game 7 at Toronto, which is Monday, and that is Monday, May 21st. I mean 31st, May 31st. Of May. Wow. Wow. This is really interesting. The Habs, well, I should say the Leafs were up 3-1. And the Habs inch back 3-2 and then 3-3. And now we force a game 7 on Monday night at Scotia Canadian Center. I don't think they have fans. I don't think the Leafs will have fans in game 7. But the Habs did have fans in Game 6, and even though it was 2,500 people, it was still very loud, and it got loud, and they did boos for a couple players, like Chenyuk they were booing, but they do cheer for Carey Price, had a couple of Carey Price or Carey chants, I should say. We had those. One of them was a Caulfield chant. After he hit the post there, Caulfield chant for sure. So some great stuff to see there, the fans, and then overtime and winning. The last time we had a home game with the playoffs in an overtime win was 2017 against the Rangers in Game 2. Thomas Plekanec with the tip from Radulov. If anyone remembers that against the Rangers in Game 2. Yeah, that's a long time ago. This team's different, isn't it? So let's get into the game. Really action-packed game. Of course, the Leafs were desperate, so were the Habs, and both teams were desperate. One reason for the Habs being desperate is that if they didn't win in Game 6, the season would be over. Done. No more chances. For the Leafs, if they won for the first time since 2004, 17 years. Okay, 17 years. They'll move on to the second round for the first time in 17 years. So guess what? Both teams had desperation here. Coming out of the gate was the Habs. The Habs had lots of puck control, just playing the puck really well, doing some great plays, just doing a really fantastic job with the puck. And then, I think it was Philippe Deneau who took the penalty, and he went to the box, and then the Maple Leafs got some time, but back and forth, we definitely had. And of course, the first two periods were back and forth. Habs having some chances, some really good chances. The Leafs having a couple chances, but I have to say, in the first and second period, Jack Campbell was the one who was tested the most. Carey Price wasn't tested. Carey Price had like 14 shots between the first and second period, meaning he didn't get much shots on goal. He didn't get any shots against him much whatsoever. So knowing that, Carey Price was able to, take his time. But man, when that third period came around, the Habs on the power play, first goal on the power play in the series, they were 0 for 16 to that point. So finally they score on the power play, and it was goalie interference. William Nylander goes to the box, goalie interference on Carey Price. And then about, what was it, 20, 30 seconds after that power play got started, guess what? Mitch Marner tries to dump it out to the Habs defensive zone, and he puts it over the glass, making a 5-on-3. Like, oh my goodness, a 5-on-3? Wow. So then everything sort of gets set up like you have room on the ice. When there's only 3 players, you know, you have 5 players, the Habs have 5 players, and the Leafs have 3. There's so many players can cover. We only have 3 versus 5, right? So yeah, that's when Corey Perry scores his first of the playoffs this season from Tyler Toffoli on the power play, making a 1-0 Montreal, and a great game by him for sure. A really solid game by Corey Perry. And Corey Perry cashes that in. The puck was loose. Caulfield with the shot, and then Toffoli kind of found the loose change, and then Perry with the just a little tap in, and he scores. And even the Leafs called goalie interference. They were calling coach's challenge. I'm like, why would they overturn this? I don't know, from the Leafs perspective, anything. You know what I mean? Like, why would you overturn this thing? Why? Why would you overturn it? Come on, really? Can you tell me why? You know what I mean? So, knowing that, it stayed the same. The goal stands, and the Habs get another power play. And that's Tyler Toffoli. His first of the playoffs this season from Nick Suzuki and Jeff Petrie. First point by a defenseman in this game, this whole series. Finally, Jeff Petrie. And that's on the power play again. Another power play. Look at that. 6:43 into the third period. Suzuki and Petrie got the assist on that. Toffoli with the goal. Suzuki got to the net, and Toffoli just a nice little tip there. Just well, Jack Campbell didn't have much spot on that glove side, but he got it right there and he scores, making 2-0 Habs. After that, Habs were buzzing, but then Leafs were like, well. Jason Spencer from Alexander Kerfoot. And now Jason Spencer, 3 goals in the series, been very good. 11:35 into that third period, 2-1 Montreal now. Got the lead in half. And this was, Jason Spencer's been very good. He's been playing fourth line. They should play him higher in the lineup. But whatever. And Jason Spencer scores, glove side. Between the glove and on the blocker already, Jason Spencer's done that once. Worked twice, hasn't it? So now it's 2-1. Like, Habs better, keep this lead intact because if they score again, it's going to be tied up. You know what I mean? Well, guess who scores? 16:49 into third period. 2-2 now. Toronto and Montreal. It was Pierre Enville and then passes to Brody. And then Brody, from the right point, takes the shot and he scores. And that puck was actually bouncing puck, but actually Petrie had to go off his skate and deflect it into the net. Which Price was like, oh, Peach, if you're gonna block something, make sure you block it totally. Don't just do a half block, because you do a half block, it's like a deflection, okay? You can't do that. That was a fortunate goal, you should say, by the Leafs there. Tying it up, because they didn't, they had a lot of chances. Late in the third, they had chances. Habs were able to just get out of that third period, thank goodness. And into the OT, it didn't change. The Leafs with the pressure. They had 10 shots on 1. Favoring the Leafs. So I was like, oh my goodness, what's happening here? Come on. And Price with some great solid stops. And finally, here we go. Paul Byron picks off a pass from Travis Dermott, the one who was substituting because what Santine giving away. Well, guess what? Dermott does the same thing. And Byron finds Kotkaniemi down the middle. Kotkaniemi goes in, fires, scores. That's 15-15 overtime. A great shot by Kotkaniemi, his third of the playoffs. And that's a great shot. Glove side. Rips that shot. Glove side. What a shot. And that means 3-2 overtime, meaning forcing a Game 7 in Toronto. Let's look at some of these stats here we have. For the Maple Leafs in the last, in this game, 43 shots, 31 by the Habs. It was leading by the Habs, but then the Leafs in that third period poured it on. Even the OT, they poured it on, for sure. For offensive time, 52 by the Leafs, 48 by the Canadiens, makes sense. 0 for 4 on the power play for the Leafs, still struggling again. We thought the other night, I think it was like game 4, like, okay, the power play is getting better, but no, it's back the same. 2 for 4 on the power play for the Habs, 8 penalty minutes for both teams, 27 hits by the Leafs, 44 by the Habs. So the Habs really grinding this one out for sure. 22 blocks by the Leafs, 21 by the Habs, and you know what? That's very good by the Habs. Getting those hits, getting things ready there, but definitely, if we rely on Carey Price, definitely rely on that OT, because Carey Price knows if a goal goes in right now, my season's over, my teammates' season's over, it's all done. But no, we got Game 7, it's do or die, it's going to be a handshake line at the end of the game no matter who wins and who loses, right? So definitely that's on Monday. Let me tell you the time. Let me just get this up. Monday, 7 o'clock Eastern Time. That's 4 o'clock Pacific Time. And yes, that's what it's going to be, alright? So thanks for watching. I will see you next video. And by the way, Habs and Golden Knights tonight. That's going to be a good one, alright? Go watch that if you want to watch some hockey. That's going to be fantastic. That's going to be in 7, for sure. 6 or 7, absolutely, for sure. Thanks for watching. See you next video. Bye.